So I just started off with already braided down hair, and y'all don't judge these cornrows. They have been in my hair for a week prior to installing this closure unit. I am going to use knee highs today for my install just because it lays a little bit flatter when it comes to frontal or lace closure units. I just started off by taking my lace closure and just went ahead and attached elastic band around the perimeter of the closure, and then added a little bit of my foundation to it, just so that, you know, underneath it can lay really nice and look just really, really scalp-like, even though the closure itself is actually transparent lace. Like I said, I just wanted to be really sure that it just looks like super natural, y'all, like just as natural as possible. So I'm also putting a little bit of foundation on my actual wig cap too, just because I'm extra, and like I said, I want it to look as natural as possible. So I'm not going to keep my elastic band on my unit, on my sew-in, so I am just going to go ahead and like sew in the place where the band is like pretty much holding my closure. And I'm also going to sew a piece right towards the back just to kind of like have it. So now that I sewed down all my little anchor pieces that I needed to hold my closure in place, now I'm just going ahead and going around the closure and just sewing down everything else. So now that I went ahead and got that sewed down all the way around the perimeter of the lace closure, I just went ahead and cut that extra elastic band off. And like, as you can see, there's totally no way that you can tell that this is a lace closure. Just already, like, I mean, it's already kind of pre-plucked. I mean, the hairline itself is a little thick, but I kind of like my hairline like that because it resembles my natural hairline more. But as you can see, I just parted to show you guys that this closure is like literally straight scalp, honey. Like, look at it, like straight scalp. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to part it right there in the front area. And I like to just sew down on top of a few braids, just a couple pieces, just to kind of make sure that the lace closure is intact and that it stays, you know, in position even towards the front. Because sometimes closures tend to, you know, recede a little bit. So just to make sure that don't happen, I like to sew a braid or two towards the front where it can be hidden. So now, as you can see, I went ahead and started that first 16-inch bundle, which is going to be the first bundle I put in. And then on top of that, I'm going to do the 14-inch bundle just to give it kind of like a nice little layered look. Now I'm just going ahead and working on that second 14-inch bundle and just kind of filling in the top there. I did double weft all of my tracks, so I didn't have to cut any of my tracks until I got to the very top of my head nearest my closure. So all those tracks towards the back are double wefted, and I feel like I did a pretty good job of sewing it down to where you can't really tell that it's actually double wefted. I just wanted it to be as full as possible. So yeah, I just double weft it, and I'm kind of lazy. I don't like cutting the wefts, especially because it makes it shed too. So yeah, I decided not to cut it and just double weft it, especially since it was a curly look. Now I'm just going ahead and cutting that little, I don't even know what you want to call it, like that balloon area that comes from the back of the knee high. And I'm just doing that because I'm about to work on finishing up this look. I'm cutting the lace now. I'm just going to cut a little bit of the lace at a time. And then I'm going to cut a little bit of the wig cap and just kind of like go back and forth, just so I can make sure that my closure lines up really well with my hairline. And as you can see, like I mentioned earlier, I do like to sew a little bit in the front, like just a couple of tracks, just to kind of keep it just secure, pretty much, just making sure that like I said, the closure doesn't recede any. But y'all, like, while we're on the subject, do y'all see how scalp like this closure looks? Like, look at that. Like, y'all, do y'all see that? Like, this is before any real customization besides me bleaching the knots and adding the foundation to the bottom. Like, y'all, this looks like it's growing out my natural scalp. Like, you cannot tell me any different. This is growing out of my scalp. This is my hair now. Like, this is my hair. So after I sewed that down and made sure it was nice and secure, I just went ahead and wanted to cut off that excess knee-high wig cap, whatever you want to refer to it as. So I'm just going ahead and cutting all of that off around the perimeter of my head. The reason I actually do like to do my sewings like this is because since I do my own sewings and I have to take them out myself, sometimes I find it difficult for me to be able to cut my threads without sometimes cutting my hair, just because I can't see what I'm doing. So with the wig cap method, it's really easy because you can just literally cut your thread. It's so easy to see the thread because it's black and it's compared to, you know, a beige wig cap. And since your hair is underneath the wig cap, you never have to worry about accidentally cutting your hair. So I'll definitely recommend this method for people who do their own sew-ins. So I also would like to mention that when it comes to closure units, I do not like to have pretty much the closure on my forehead. I actually do like to leave a little bit of leave out. I have a widow's peak and I have a pretty low hairline, so it's even if I install my closure as tight as possible, I sometimes tend to still have, you know, where the closure starts to recede back. So I just like to do it like this because to me it looks more natural and I don't have to have that worry about my closure moving back. So I'm just putting a little bit of Got to Bleed gel down in between where my closure starts and my hairline starts, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a headband on top of that to keep it nice and laid and flatten it out some. And I'm just showing you guys how flawless this closure looks. And you know, even without customization, I haven't actually even laid any baby hairs or really tried to lay that lace closure down really good. You cannot really tell that it's a closure. It looks pretty natural even thus far without the extra customizations that people usually do. Like some stylists, I do like to put a little bit of mousse on my hair. That's what you just see me doing. That kind of just keeps the closure nice and laid and flat. But I do not use a hot comb on curly hair just because I kind of like that little bit of body towards the top, like as you can see now. I did just show you guys what the closure looked like the next day. It was really flat, really scalp like. You could not tell where the closure started and where my hairline started. And this is pretty much the next day. All I did the night previously is braid it up. So this is just me taking out my braid out on dry hair, just to kind of show you guys what the texture of the hair and how the hair and everything came out. Like I said, I didn't customize my lace closure that much. It's pretty much just kind of up there. I'll probably do some more customization, but I just kind of wanted to show y'all the overall look, and just kind of give y'all, you know, serve a little looks for a few seconds. Okay, and thanks for watching the video. Y'all please leave some feedback. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe.